I always like to reference the Clinton administration. Of course, you were a big part of it in the 1990s. Back then, it was Bill Clinton looking for issues and with the help and assist from the mainstream media, trying to knock Monica Lewinsky and all the problems off the headlines. We had the wag the dog infamously going on. In this case, now 20 years later, you have President Trump in the Oval Office. He's got wonderful news. I mean, if you think about it, some tremendous GDP numbers. He's got some wonderful trade news coming out, yet you have the mainstream media doing the opposite, looking for some sort of dark clouds amidst all of this silver lining that's going on. It's a fascinating turn of events over the last three administrations.
Yeah, it's what happens when you have a good president who gets things done. I think that this economic news, Graham, is uniquely important for this year's election. It's a truism that good economic news helps the president, and there's nothing new about that. But there is about this, because this new economic news, the huge 4.1% increase in GDP, is obviously a direct effect of the cause of the tax cut. It took place immediately afterwards within that economic cycle, and clearly is attributable to it. And what's unique about this is not a single Democrat supported it, and they're all now saying they want to repeal it. So as the goose is laying the golden egg, they're hunting for it, wanting to kill the goose. And this makes the economic performance a front and center issue in the midterm elections. It's not just in the background of, oh yeah, I approve of what Trump is doing on the economy, he's doing a good job. It's very specifically, do I want to continue this economic surge, or do I want to kill it? Do I want to continue the Trump tax cuts, or do I want to kill them? And the Republicans should make this the major issue of the election, so that prosperity and these numbers become admissible as evidence for supporting Republicans in each of these local contests.
I think that a lot of the Republican candidates appear to be trying to do exactly what you're suggesting, Dick, and that is make it all about tax cuts. But there are so many other issues, obviously immigration et al., that can often distract, and also rightfully so distract, because it's not just a one-dimensional campaign, of course, but you're dead on target. And I think if you look at it from an economic perspective and a fiscal perspective, Dick, the tax cuts are the tip of the iceberg, and then below the waterline are the regulations. What is it, 20 for every new regulation that's been killed by this administration? This is the portion of the formula that I think is grossly underreported.
Yeah, it's significant to prove your point, Graham. Right after Trump took office, the stock market took off and growth began to accelerate. He obviously hadn't adopted any programs yet, but businesses were confident that this guy in the White House was not going to tie them up with regulations. And then when the tax cut was added to that, giving them the capital to pay for their good intentions and their pro-growth aspirations, it worked very, very well.
All right, so we have the president via Twitter targeting the mainstream media, targeting the Democrats as he's wont to do, but also targeting Congress in general. Half of Congress is out right now. That would be the House. Senate is still working. I use air quotes on that. And so this tweet from the president, Dick, is Robert Mueller ever going to release his conflicts of interest with respect to President Trump, including the fact that we had a very nasty and contentious business relationship? I turned him down to head the FBI one day before the appointment as special counsel, and Comey is his close friend. This is fascinating to me, because what the president is doing, first of all, he wrote this tweet initially in third person and then switches to first person and is talking about this conflict of interest. Now, I doubt if the president is going to elaborate on this. Rudy Giuliani, his representative, declined to elaborate on this. So what he did here, in essence, was throw the ball into the court of Robert Mueller. So is Robert Mueller going to just simply ignore this? Yeah. We know he's paying attention to the tweets because he's investigating Trump tweets, we are told. So is he going to respond to this and explain to the American people what this conflict of interest is?
No, he's not. He might have a surrogate do it, or there might be a leak from the FBI explaining it, but there's not much to explain. I think that Trump has him on this. But let's go back to what you began the segment with, the discussion of the immigration law. Here we have a fascinating thing. The Republicans learned when Bill Clinton succeeded in beating them over the government shutdowns in 95 and 96.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.